You barren, rotten womb. Leave my son alone. My son must marry you and leave that barren toilet filler alone.
Amaka was reviewing documents on her laptop when the doorbell rang. She wasn't expecting anyone. She opened the door barefoot, still in her work-from-home blouse, and froze. Standing there was Mama Tunde, her wrapper tied tightly, face stern, eyes sharp. Beside her stood a young village girl, no older than 23, holding a small suitcase. Mama Tunde didn't greet her. She walked straight into the house like she owned it. "Tunde," he called loudly. "Come and greet your new wife properly." "My son, congratulations. I have brought your new wife home." Amaka laughed nervously. "Mommy, what does that mean?" Mama Tunde turned slowly and replied. "A woman who has stayed 4 years without giving a child is not joking material." The room went silent. She pointed at the girl. "Her name is Busy. She will give my son what you couldn't." Amaka felt heat rush to her ears. Her chest tightened. She looked at Tunde. He said nothing. Mama Tunde insulted her openly. "Empty woman. Career will not save you. We didn't train our son for barrenness. You have occupied this place long enough." Amaka stumbled but didn't fall. She didn't scream. Didn't cry. She swallowed everything, because she loved her husband. Busy followed Mama Tunde around, smiling mockingly, wearing Amaka's slippers, dragging her small suitcase behind her. 2 days later, a black SUV stopped outside the house. It was Mrs. Okafor, Amaka's mother. Calm. Soft-spoken. Classy. She entered the house, looked around, and smiled. Behind her walked a tall, well-dressed man. She said quietly, "My daughter, meet David. Since replacements have started, I thought balance was necessary." The house exploded. Mama Tunde screamed. "How dare you bring a man into a married woman's home?" Mrs. Okafor replied calmly. "If replacement has started in this marriage, I assumed fairness was allowed." The shouting was loud. Insults flew. Yet through it all, Tunde and Amaka stood quiet, embarrassed that their marriage had turned into a BA. That night, they promised each other, "Let's ignore them. We won't let outsiders ruin us." But damage had already been done. 4 years earlier, Tunde and Amaka were happy. No children, yes. But love, respect, and partnership filled their home. They agreed. "We will not let pressure destroy us." Tunde had struggled from nothing and built his career. Amaka came from money but never flaunted it. When Mrs. Okafor visited, she cooked, prayed, encouraged them, and left peacefully. Mama Tunde, however, never hid her disappointment. Every visit came with reminders. One evening, Busy deliberately waited until Amaka stepped out to take a call. She approached Tunde with a soft smile. "Sir, Mama said I should thank you for allowing me stay here." Her voice was low, almost shy. She stood too close. Tunde stepped back immediately. "Please keep your distance," he said firmly. "You are a guest in my house." Busy nodded quickly, embarrassed. "I'm sorry." She walked away. Tunde felt uncomfortable but not tempted. That night, he told Amaka, "Your mother-in-law brought a girl with bad intentions." Amaka sighed. "I know. Just be careful." A few days later, Busy tried again. This time, she waited until night. Tunde was working on his laptop in the living room. She came out wearing a loose wrapper, pretending to be searching for water. She sat too close again. "Sir, city life is hard," she said softly. "Men like you are rare." Tunde shut his laptop immediately. "Busy, don't ever do this again." She touched his arm lightly. He stood up sharply. Leave here now. She flinched. I was only trying to. Get out, he shouted. She left in tears. That night, Mama Tunde confronted him. Are you a stone? A young girl is offering you respect and you're rejecting her. Tunde replied angrily. That girl is not my wife. And this conversation must stop. Mama Tunde stormed out. When Amaka traveled for a 3-day business trip, Mama Tunde saw opportunity. That night, Tunde was already asleep when the door opened. Mama Tunde walked in with Busy. Wake up, she whispered harshly. Your wife is not around. This girl must secure her place. Tunde sat up in shock. Are you mad? He shouted. Get out of my room. Busy stood frozen, ashamed. Mama Tunde hissed. You will regret this stubbornness. Tunde pointed at the door. Both of you. Out. They left. Tunde locked the door and sat on the bed, shaking. That night, something changed. Not desire. Exhaustion. David, on the other hand, behaved differently. He never called Amaka privately. Never visited alone. Never touched her. When they spoke, it was always respectful. Your marriage is your choice, he once said. I'm only here because your mother dragged me. Amaka felt safe around him. Not confused. Not tempted. Safe. After endless pressure. After humiliation. After emotional fatigue. One evening, after a heated argument with his mother. After feeling like a failure as a son. Busy came to him crying. I'm tired, she said. Your mother blames me for everything. Tunde listened. Too long. That was the mistake. Comfort turned into closeness. Closeness crossed a line. And once crossed, it was crossed again. One evening, the house was unusually quiet. Amaka had just returned from work, tired but smiling, holding a small takeaway bag for Tunde. She placed it gently on the table. I bought your favorite. Tunde forced a smile. He couldn't meet her eyes. Before Amaka could sit, Mama Tunde cleared her throat loudly. She had been waiting. Busy stood beside her, hands folded over her stomach. Quiet. Too quiet. Mama Tunde smiled, the kind of smile that wasn't meant to be kind. Since everyone is here, she said. Let us not hide good news. Amaka looked up. Good news. Mama Tunde clapped her hands once. My son is finally a man. The room froze. Tunde's heart started racing. Mama, please. Let me speak, she snapped. She turned to Amaka slowly. For 4 years, you have been eating this man's money. Sleeping in his house. And returning empty-handed. Amaka's smile faded. Mama. Busy took a step forward. Her voice trembled, not with fear, but pride. I'm pregnant. The words landed like a slap. The takeaway bag slipped from Amaka's hand. The sound echoed. Pregnant. Amaka whispered. Mama Tunde nodded triumphantly. Yes. After all your city hospitals and big grammar. A village girl has done what you could not. Amaka turned to Tunde. Her eyes searched his face. Tell me this is a joke. Tunde opened his mouth. Nothing came out. That silence screamed louder than any confession. Amaka laughed suddenly, a short, broken laugh. So this is how I find out? Mama Tunde leaned closer. You should be grateful. At least now you know your problem wasn't my son. Busy placed a hand on her stomach and added softly. Mama says I give him a son. That was it. Amaka stood up slowly. Her voice was calm, too calm. Congratulations. She picked up her bag. Mama Tunde frowned. Where are you going? Amaka turned back. To pack my things. She looked at Ton one last time. You didn't just cheat on me, she said. You let them humiliate me. Then she walked out. The door closed quietly. Ton followed Amaka into the bedroom. His voice was shaking. Amaka, please. She didn't answer. She opened her wardrobe and began removing her clothes, slowly, carefully, like someone packing for a funeral. I made a mistake, he said desperately. It meant nothing. She stopped. Turned to him. It meant nothing, but it destroyed everything. He reached for her hand. She pulled away. Don't touch me, she shouted. Her phone rang. Mama Amaka. Amaka answered immediately. Mommy, please come. Her voice cracked. Ton sank onto the bed. He knew. This was the end. Mama Amaka arrived within the hour. Calm. Composed. Eyes sharp. She hugged her daughter tightly. Then she turned to face the room. Mama Ton scoffed. So you've come to carry your Barren daughter away? Mama Amaka smiled softly. I've come to carry my child. She turned to Amaka. Pack everything. Mama Ton laughed mockingly. And where do you think you're going? This is my son's house. Mama Amaka paused. Then she said quietly, but clearly. You have 2 days to leave this house. The room went silent. Mama Ton burst out laughing. Are you stupid? Evict my son from his own house. Mama Amaka laughed too. A slow, amused laugh. This house, she said, belongs to my husband. She picked up her bag. 2 days. She held Amaka's hand and walked out. As the car drove off, Amaka finally broke down in tears. Ton stood frozen. That night, Ton turned on his mother. You ruined me. Mama Ton scoffed. Ungrateful boy. He turned to Busy. And you finished me. Busy frowned. Finished you how? They didn't understand. They didn't know. Ton whispered. I am done. Ton begged. Let's pack. Mama Ton refused. I will never leave. Busy rubbed her belly confidently. She's bluffing. The third morning came. So did the police. The neighbors gathered. Doors opened. Whispers spread. Mama Ton screamed. This is injustice. Busy cried. Ton said nothing. As their belongings were dragged out, he saw the house gate close behind them. For the last time. They returned to the village. No electricity. No money. No respect. The night Busy went into labor, the rain would not stop. Thunder cracked across the village sky, shaking the old zinc roof above them. There was no hospital. No money. No vehicle. Mama Ton paced the room, panicking. Push. Push, she shouted, though she had no idea what she was doing. Busy screamed. Sweat soaked her wrapper. Her nails dug into the mud beneath her. Hours passed. Her voice became hoarse. Her strength faded. The baby finally came, but there was no cry. Just silence. Then a weak, broken sound. The old woman helping them shook her head. The child needs blood, she said quietly. Now. Mama Ton turned to Ton. They said the father should be tested. Ton nodded quickly. This was his chance. His redemption. His proof that something good could come out of his mistake. They pricked his finger. Waited. The doctor looked at the result again. Then again. Her face changed. He is not a match. The room went still. Ton laughed nervously. Check it again. She did. Same result. Mama Tunde shouted. What nonsense is this? He is the father. The doctor turned to Busy and said, Tell the truth. Busy started crying. Loudly. Uncontrollably. It's not his child, she sobbed. I was afraid, Mama said I should not talk. Tunde's ears rang. Whose child is it? He whispered. Busy covered her face. David. The name hit him like a gunshot. The same David who never crossed the line with Amaka. The same David who respected boundaries. The same David his wife trusted. Tunde staggered backward. He fell onto the floor. Mama Tunde screamed. She slapped Busy. You useless girl. The baby whimpered weakly. There was no blood. No money. No help. The child survived, but barely. That night, Tunde sat outside in the rain. Mud soaked his clothes. Tears mixed with the storm. I lost everything, he whispered. Everything. Meanwhile, far away, Amaka stood in a bright airport terminal. Passport in hand. Eyes swollen, but steady. Mama Amaka hugged her. You will heal. Amaka nodded. She boarded the plane. New country. New life. New beginning. She blocked Tunde's number. Forever. Back in the village, Tunde woke up every morning to regret. A screaming baby that wasn't his. A mother he resented. A life he never imagined. And every night, he remembered the woman who stood by him for 4 years. And how easily he let her go. The end. At what point do you think did Tunde truly lost his marriage? Should Amaka ever forgive him, and why? Was Mama Tunde the real villain of this story? Comment your thoughts.